Congratulations, you got into UW Madison, or you're thinking of going there, but should you? What's up, my guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Nandan. I'm a UW Madison alumni in engineering and economics, and in this video, we're going to talk about 5 reasons you should not go to UW Madison. I hope they send my diploma in time though. The first reason is that winters can be really harsh here. January is usually the coldest month of the year with like an average temperature of -8 degrees Celsius or 20 degrees Fahrenheit for you US fellows. The temperature isn't usually the problem though, it's the wind chill that makes it much worse. It could make -8 degrees Celsius feel like -23 sometimes. Couple this with the hazy skies and like 9-ish hours of daylight in like worst case scenario and you will feel This is fairly easy to combat though, and the key to not feeling cold in the winter is basically to layer up as much as you can. Stuff like gloves, winter wear, all of the head. All winter wear can be found at outlet malls usually before the start of the semester, and they have a sale, so this could make it much easier to buy winter wear and, protect yourself from the cold if you're not used to this kind of weather. The second one is that it may not be the best cultural fit, especially if you're from like a massive city. You see, Madison is a smaller community. It is a small campus town, which means the only thing in the city outside of the campus is nothing. Like Madison wouldn't be Madison without UW Madison. And given that most of the time you need a car to get around efficiently, this can make it much more lonely or isolating. Like there's also other places to explore in Wisconsin, but it's much smaller and it's a completely different vibe. It's like if you wanted to go on a weekend getaway, those are the kind of places you'd find in Wisconsin. The bus routes are pretty good though. It gets you where you need to, but it just takes like much longer. As a cultural side note, growing up in a big city like Bombay in India basically means that people like us are like inherently more competitive, I guess, because there's just so many more people that you can possibly compete with. If you're the same, maybe that's a benefit. Depends on how you look at it. The third reason you should not go to UW Madison is that housing is quite expensive and it continues to rise every year. See, average rent prices have been increasing, but this is pretty much standard like anywhere you go. Madison's average rent prices though over the last year have increased about like 30%, especially for 1-bedroom places. This is only for 1 bedrooms. 4 bedrooms on the other hand have dropped like by 4%, I guess. According to Zumper.com, the average price of a 1-bedroom apartment is $1,425. The place that I stay right now, it's a studio apartment. It's a little bit lower than that, so I can attest to these numbers, I guess. If you're interested in the cost of attendance and breakdown and how much it costs to live here month to month, I made a video about that. It's linked somewhere, I think, on this side. I still don't know where it is. But one reason it could be happening is because there's more people being admitted to and accepting admission into UW Madison. See, we have limited housing, there's tons of construction going around, which means there's obviously more people demanding less housing. Simple economics, prices rise. Oh, and to add to my point, there's tons of construction on campus, so it can get a little irritating walking around sometimes. The fourth reason not to go to UW Madison is that it's a work hard, play hard environment. Most majors have a very challenging curriculum and the classes are highly competitive. This is especially true if you're like a computer science, engineering, or even a business major, because those are the most like competitive ones ranked throughout the university itself for undergraduates. The fifth reason is diversity. It's not the best, but we're getting there. Slowly, but steadily. Let me explain. See, there's occasionally issues with race and diversity, and if you want to know more about what I'm talking about, Google it, you'll find out more info.
You're a skinny ass white nigga. Take that shit off, boy!
But overall, we are getting to be a more diverse campus. From the years 2013 to 2022, we've seen about an 8% rise in the number of people of color enrolled at UW Madison itself. Note that this doesn't include international students, I'll get to that. Although that rise may seem good, it's still not the best compared to all other universities out there. As of fall 2022, there have been about 16.1% of international students that have come to UW Madison from these particular locations. All of this information is collected from the registrar's office on this pretty cool like Tableau thing that I didn't know existed before I made this video, so if you want to mess around with that, there's a link to it below. Over the years, there has been an increase in the number of international students here, but it has been hovering around the same like 16-ish% throughout all years. The sixth bonus reason that you should not come to UW Madison are the limited scholarship opportunities for international students. Feels weird to call this a bonus reason. That said, the overall cost of attendance is still lower than a lot of other universities. Here's a list of scholarships ranked from most least important in terms of how much money you can get from them. There are ways to alleviate your tuition burden. For example, being a teaching assistant in RA, which basically we call it house fellow just to be fancy. You could do student jobs, you could do internships, and also take more classes, because regardless of whether you take 12 or 18 credits, you're still paying the same amount of tuition fee. The downside to that though is your GPA is probably gonna be a little worse. That said, I strongly believe that UW Madison is a good investment to make, but again, I might be biased because I graduated from here. They still haven't sent me my diploma yet, so. If you're looking for 5 reasons to go to UW Madison, you can watch this video, and if you want to learn how to make a good decision on which university to select, click this one. You might find it interesting. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.